5 years ago, I was sitting in an audience a bit like this, at a conference like this. And all of a sudden, it just went dark. At first, I thought, oh, I probably just fell asleep. After all, I was working pretty hard as a management consultant. I was definitely not sleeping enough, and I was having way too much coffee to stay awake. But as it turns out, I hadn't fallen asleep. I actually had had a pretty major brain bleed. And I was told that you were lucky you didn't die on the spot. I was also told that now I'm a ticking bomb. And any change in blood pressure, and I can basically be out. So I had to jump on a plane, and I was fortunate enough to get the absolutely best medical care there is in the US. And I stand here now as Magnus 2.0, the upgrade. While this process was incredibly emotional and stressful and scary, it also was a great gift. It's a gift because it gave me a chance to really reflect on life. What's important? And what's not so important? And that time gave me an opportunity to create and craft my 3 life commandments. You know, some of us believe in 10 life commandments we follow. Some of us have 5 pillars. I have the Magnus 3 life commandments, and I'll share them with you today. The first one is that the discount rate on life is really high. Sounds like a finance formula. What does it really mean? It means that happiness in a year, happiness in a month, happiness in a week, even happiness tomorrow is awesome. But it comes at a great discount to happiness right now. So you have to live now. If you're looking yourself in the mirror too many days in a row and wondering, why am I doing this? Then it's time to change. Life is precious and life is short. You have to live now. The second commandment, which was really the game changer for me, is that you're going to be fine. I believe you can live life from 2 basic paradigms or 2 basic philosophies. Either you believe in abundance or you believe in scarcity. Abundance means that there's enough to go around. The more you give, the more you get. And you can live your life accordingly. Scarcity, and that's sort of how I grew up, is the belief that you're building your nest. You're collecting things. You're saving up money in the bank. You are working hard to get academic achievements. You're working really hard to be successful professionally. And then one day when you're fine, maybe when you have enough money in the bank and with the kid, when you have had children and they've sort of finished university and gone through college, then that day when you're fine, then you can start living. Until then, life is really about survival and building your nest. Now, what I realized is, man, I am so blessed. I was born in Sweden. That's a jackpot. I have nice parents. That's another blessing. I got a chance to get a good education. That's another blessing. And I even live, like all of you guys, we live in Dubai, in the UAE, which was we just learned this week that it's the 2nd safest place in the world. We're so blessed. There is no worst case. And when you can really realize that even if I don't have everything I dream of yet, I'm going to be fine. I can stop worrying about getting fine. Then all of a sudden life shifts, because life is no longer and can no longer be about survival. You will survive. Most of us live life as if we are in survival mode, whether it is putting bread on the table or whether it is buying our 2nd Lamborghini. It is still about surviving. Guess what? You're all going to be fine. And when you realize that you're fine, then you realize, what should I do with my life? You have to find your purpose. The 3rd commandment builds on the first 2, which is basically, if you believe that the discount rate on life is really high, you believe you need to live now, and you believe that you're going to be fine, so you have to go find your purpose, then you have to let go of fear. Fear can be a great driving force, but it's so limiting. When I was a kid, the reason I became a geek at the age of 7 and started taking apart computers, the reason I did good in school, the reason I started a business when I was 14, was because I was curious. I wanted to explore and I wanted to learn. But over my life, particularly throughout college and then professional life, and particularly professional life as a management consultant, that curiosity was slowly but surely replaced by fear. Fear is like a disease. It spreads, it makes you be separate from others, it makes you hedge your life, and really not prevents you from actually just enjoying life. So you have to let go of fear and go back to living with curiosity and passion. So I have these 3 life commandments. I come back from the US to Dubai, and now what? I have to find my purpose. So I walk into my boss and I tell him, I love you guys, but I have to leave because I'm going to do my purpose. And he tells me, so what's your purpose? And I said, I have no idea, but I'm going to find it. And how do you find your purpose? I got on a plane, I went to Thailand, I sat in silence with some monks for 10 days like this, waiting for the purpose to just fall down. Guess what? It didn't. So, the one thing that did fall down though is that my purpose is something in the space of building. And I realized I want to build something that is meaningful and big. So, came back to Dubai, met up with a friend who became my co-founder, and we started looking for what can be meaningful and big that we can go build. So you're looking for something meaningful. We started looking at the space of education that feels meaningful, or healthcare, or even food. We actually looked at building a fish farm until we realized that we were going to smell like fish all the time, so we abandoned that idea. Someone suggested to us, why don't you look at transportation? And as in our prior lives as consultants traveling in the region, we had realized that ground transportation was not awesome. But we thought about it and we said, in my case, I get a second chance in life, and I'm going to go and start a car booking app. It does not feel really meaningful. So I was not very sure about it. But the more I looked at it, and the more I reflected, the more I realized that this could be something. And the drop really happened when I realized that what became Careem can really be a vehicle for something positive in the region. Careem in Arabic means generous, and the core value of Careem that we wrote down on the first day that we started was that we want to be Careem. We want to be Careem to our customers by providing an awesome, awesome service. We want to be Careem to our captains, not only by providing them an income, but providing them respect and care for the important work that they're doing. And we want to be Careem with our colleagues and build an organization where people are not feeling that they are just an employee, but they're actually co-owners of this and building it together. So we set out on that journey here in Dubai 4.5 years ago. Today, if you ask someone what is Careem, if you Google Careem, you'll probably come across things like Careem is the leading car booking app in the region, or Careem is one of the fastest growing tech disruptors in the region. They are in 12 countries, 50 cities, there are 1,200 people, etc. And they are one of the first companies from the Middle East that has become a unicorn, a company valued at $1 billion. While all that is true, that is not what Careem is for me. For me, Careem is still the vehicle of living my purpose of doing something meaningful. Look around in the region. There is 700 million people from Morocco to Pakistan, 400 million in the cities. With the exception of the UAE, public transportation is quite challenged. On a daily basis, we are moving hundreds of thousands of customers that previously didn't have a good way to move around. In Saudi Arabia alone, the government estimates that 3 million Saudi females, that's 3 million Saudi females, they would work if they had an easy and affordable way to get to and from work, not working. On the capital side, over the last 4.5 years, we have created 200,000 jobs. And that's in a region that is battling with unemployment, particularly youth unemployment. And even more so in the last couple of years in economic times with oil prices going up. And over the next 2 years, we're visioning to create 1 million jobs in the region. That is doing something meaningful. And on the side of the colleagues, what I have learned is that the region has so much talent, particularly in the youth. so many talented people that has amazing skills, amazing capabilities, and so much passion. But they really haven't had any amazing places to deploy all those skills at. The region hasn't had any Facebooks, any Googles, or any other amazing places where you can come, bring all your talents, bring all your passions, and just go and make something amazing happen. And we are hoping that Careem can become that place, that platform, an organizational platform for people to do amazing stuff. So, what's the takeaway of all this for you? Life is beautiful. It's really, really, really precious. And I see life as an ocean. And each one of you, when you came into this life, you came as a drop that landed in the ocean. And whether you're aware of it or not, your life has already started some ripples in this world. And the most important thing you can do with your lives is to connect to that purpose of yours. Because when you connect with your purpose, you can start seeing these ripples in the ocean and you recognize the patterns. And as you can align yourself with those patterns that follow your purpose, then life becomes amazing. Instead of just swimming around aimlessly, life becomes like surfing. There will be times when you have to work hard and paddle strongly, and there will be times when you fall down, but in between, you will catch the waves because they will keep coming, because you are in alignment with your purpose. So, go find your purpose, align yourself with it, and life will become like a beautiful ride on the ocean, and it will take you much further than you could ever imagine. Thank you so much.